question is, do we have fear about artificial intelligence?
I think a lot of people have. I'm not sure I have it.
Yeah.
I probably see it more as an opportunity.
We have to confess we are already researching and working on different aspects regarding artificial intelligence and composing with samples and more.
That's quite a big announcement, isn't it? It's like,
oops.
Oops, dropped it.
Yeah,
indeed. We started working on it.
Yeah, I think we can discuss this a little bit, why it's so interesting for us.
Yes, I think that would be good.
Most important is that we have to clarify what we are not doing regarding AI.
Yes,
yeah.
We agree. We don't want to go into composing tools. Is that the way to put it?
I don't know. No, also we deliver composing tools now, where you use the tools to compose, but we don't deliver tools, or that we don't want to deliver tools which are composing for you.
So how do you envision that?
I told some wishes to our developers what I would love to have in the final stage. And one thing was that I would like to see a product where you have the full control what is happening. And that means, at least in the first decade of this product development, that you have always the choice to switch between the sample world and the rendering world of AI, which also means that these AI tools have to be 100% compatible and matching with our samples. Now, all the things we are developing now have to have the sonic footprint of this hall and of our samples. And of course, it's a good thing that we own this hall, that the musicians who have performed here the samples will also work with us now for developing these AI tools. And it will be very interesting what the future brings when all these three aspects, sampling, AI, real performing, can be mixed and matched together.
That could even create something totally new, right?
It definitely will, yeah.
Which is not yet foreseeable what it will be, but it could be that there is something that composers start to create using the different worlds.
Famous example of Backdraft by Hans Zimmer. It's obvious that he has composed this soundtrack with samples, and then it was performed live. And a complete new aesthetic of string writing was born because of this process. Sometimes the samples deliver exactly what you have in mind. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Even if you perform it with an orchestra, it can happen that you said, the orchestra is cool, but it's different, and I prefer the virtual version, just for these bars or just for selected instruments. Therefore, I would like to see an option that you say, just these few bars are so much better when they are rendered with an AI technology, but anything else should be stay sampled or
live.
Or live. No? So that you have always the choice now to define where the source is coming from. Yeah.
I think what is worthwhile to mention as well, the way we envision this to happen is that we don't disturb the process. So, right, the AI will mingle into the existing process as a plugin within the player. And I think that's important as well, because a lot of people might say, oh my God, another tool I need to download, another piece of software with another UI.
If I would be 30 years younger, then I would say, it doesn't matter now, we invent everything new, but I have learned it's it's better
the hard way.
to give the people the chance to stay on their established workflows. And this was also a wish. Usually, if you think of AI-rendered compositions, you are used to use notation programs. This was also a thing. We have to make it possible that you don't have to use notation programs, that you can work with your keyboard arrangements and have the tools to interpret what you do on the keyboard and send it to the AI plugin, and that people can use their DAWs they are using now and just have a little switch in their player now where they switch it on or off, the rendering option.
When I heard the first very early prototypes the other day, it made me very positive, seeing it can be done, right? There is something that will sound and can sound like being recorded in that very room.
I'm sure that the first 95% of the quality are the more easier one, and the last 5% are getting really hard as usual, as always. Yeah.
As always. I think we should stick to what our brand is all about, right? 100% quality, always. We don't compromise on quality, which is an important factor.
It's our mantra, but also we are doomed with this.
Yeah, exactly. The mantra is a doom, yet it is what we do successfully since 25 years. Do I understand it correct? And that's almost a rhetorical question. I think what we envision as well is for people who only want to use bits and pieces with AI, doable. For other people who say, whoa, I don't want to use samples at all, that piece is only rendering, doable as well.
This is based on the personality of the composer, no?
Totally.
How much control he wants, no? How precise his imagination is of the piece he wants to write. Yes. No? And of course, nobody is specialist in every aspect of performances of every instrument, no? And therefore I think it's helpful if you're not so skilled in the beginning of your career that you have tools which guide you in a way that you can rely on the output somehow. No? I'm proud and happy to be a Viennese because Vienna is the music capital of the world, and I think
classical music.
The classical music, yeah, classical music, of course, yeah, yeah. Classical Western music, yeah. And I think you have to do something to be entitled, to keep this credit. In the past, all the composers who lived in Vienna and worked here always enhanced the possibilities and the creativity of classical music, in enhancing the orchestra. Beethoven with his symphonies, adding a choir, Gustav Mahler, and all the people up to Schoenberg, searching for new composition styles and so on. And in the end of the 20th century, now in the 21st century, it's more the technology which is enhancing the possibilities, and we hopefully we can use this technology to offer with the tools we develop new expression possibilities in music to go the next step. And hopefully Vienna will be a synonym for this development in the future also then.
But I think, and I know you are very humble, you would never say it that way about yourself. I think that company, another mantra of that company is to always try to find the next step, to enhance an innovation. I think the whole company started with an innovation, a technological jump forward that wasn't there. Mm-hmm. I think AI will predominantly support in all types and forms, right? In musicality, in pictures, in videos, in writing. I think the key purpose for now and for the future probably is really helping creative people to become more effective, that we are offering another tool like our sample libraries to help composers, to help creative people to express their creativity and nothing else. I think that it's like the mantra, which is not a doom in that respect. It's a mantra. We are here to support our customers. And I think that's an important element.
It's not about the costs, but about the effort you have to put in to write music and to arrange things. That AI simply helps to be faster and to focus more on your creativity, on composing, creativity on composing, on not to be creative to go about the workarounds, that it sounds correct or something like that. Are you a template builder or not? The first questions of the AI. Do you want to make a template by yourself, or should I help you?
Absolutely. And some people love to do it themselves. Absolutely.
I love it, yeah.
Yeah, so there we are. So that's exactly it.